Good morning, everyone. Ultronymous, you know your music. Every time I play a tune, it's something that just resonates with me. You happen to know it. That's funny. Oh, and that Jimkill X knows it too. Good morning, Midnight Hatter. Good to see you guys. This is going to be a good one. Oh, some music just started playing. Okay. Well, let me do my normal intro thing. I just lost it. Okay. Well, greetings, everyone. It is June 7th, 2024. It's Friday, so it's the end of the week. So we'll see what we're going to be talking about here. But hello, everyone, and welcome to the BlueGamer Bluecast morning show, the daily video game morning talk show where I, a professional video game enthusiast of 30-plus years, Adam Blue, will cover news and industry insights along with what I've been getting into. So yeah, that's my little spiel. And so yeah, some of the news actually that came out of yesterday was actually really cool. After, the BlueGamer, my normal day of work was going on, and then I would check news every once in a while and see some cool releases because there was an indie showcase called like the Gorilla Indie Showcase that was really cool. Showed off some cool games, especially one that I was not expecting, except for recently a developer that I follow was teasing it. And I was like, there's no way it's true. And it was true. Just because I feel like, in the time where it's hard to make games, kind of, it was amazing to get a sequel to this game that I'll talk about here in a second. But at the same time, this guy is a cool developer, and he's been involved with interesting stuff, and usually does it by himself. I think he does the art. But yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's start with what I've been playing. And it's really not too much, so let's go to that screen share real quick. So it was just, like I was saying, I just beat Aria of Sorrow, but I went through again to get the 100% of the castle. And there was something that I was sharing yesterday I didn't understand. So, like, when we look at Harmony of Dissonance, there's this little gray orb. It says beaten. Again, this is retro achievements. This is how when I play a retro game, I use this to help me kind of see where I'm at. And then, the yellow bar of all the achievements I got so far. But on Aria of Sorrow, I noticed, there's gray, and then there's this beaten, but softcore. And it took me a while to really realize what was going on, until I realized what was going on. So, and I actually had to do some research on this. So how retro achievements works is there's an option to play in hardcore mode, which doesn't allow you to use save states. And then there's an option to play softcore mode, which does allow you. Now, I somehow didn't know this, and I've mainly been playing in hardcore mode. And then with Aria of Sorrow, I was like, why are my achievements not really showing up like it shows the gray? And it was because it happened to the device I was playing on for a period of time. That retro arc was configured to softcore mode. The idea is here is you can still get achievements, but it's saying, hey, you did it where you could use save states. Now, I didn't. I mean, there's no reason in these games. They have save locations everywhere, and you can quit and save and come back. But that just gives me a reason to go back again and properly do it. So, Anyway, I just wanted to share that because, again, I love this retro achievements thing to kind of track where I am in a game and what I can go back and do. Yeah, because between all the Castlevania games, beating them on the different modes with the different characters, like, how can I keep track of what I've done? I mean, I guess I could write it down, right? Isn't that what people used to do? Okay, let me go back here. Alternatives, we'll have to talk game music one day. Actually, maybe that would be a good episode to do when there's like a slow news cycle. We can speak about music, because, yeah, music for me it's all part of the whole package with video games. Okay. Is that really all I played? Yeah, because I planned this weekend to get into Call of Duty because I want to make a video about the Gundam skins in it. So I wanted to do that yesterday, but you know. Okay, so let's look at some news items that I pulled up. One is Nintendo Switch Online gets 5 Mega Man titles from the Game Boy. So, Nintendo Switch Online is something that, and it's weird how I feel like when it comes to people like gamers that love gaming, it's like the Switch exists, but it's still not, unless I'm wrong, it played as much as everything else. But it's still cool to have a Switch because of those Nintendo games or because of their Switch Online, which is pretty neat because for people that aren't into getting into the world of like emulators, downloading ROMs, where should I play? I get it. Like, luckily Nintendo is releasing older titles. It would be cool if you could choose whatever you wanted, but at least they're doing this because Capcom has released Mega Man collections, the original, the X collection, and I don't think they've released the Game Boy ones, but you can play them on the Switch. I don't think I've played a Mega Man on the Game Boy. I know I've played the original PC port, but I don't think I've played one on the Game Boy. It might be fun to jump in. I don't see myself really playing them much, but that's just cool that that's there. That's all with that. Okay, here's what Suicide Squad left a $200 million hole in WB's video game division. So, that's very, very interesting. There was a time, maybe 10 years ago, where the companies were just like, oh yeah, video game development is too expensive. And that's where you saw like Disney originally stopped with their in-house development. There was a bunch of other examples, maybe even sooner than 10 years ago, but it was weird. It was like this weird shift of right before COVID. It was like, yeah, video game development's too expensive. Then COVID happened. All of a sudden, video games made a lot of money. Then these companies were like, oh, let's start making some video games. So let's get a bunch of money and make video games. But then it went back to its original state anyway. It stinks when it's a huge company like WB that, could be. It's like it's good to have these companies that have deep pockets to kind of set a standard in the game industry. And it's interesting that I don't think anyone really is. Like, Sony does it, but leans into the high production value. Microsoft does it, but leans into, like, here's a bunch of games. And, then you have, like, WB, which you think would be pretty good, because, I kind of look at, like, their film industry kind of pedigree with the video games. They have the IP, they have the money for the studios, they've released amazing games constantly. Even that Hogwarts Legacy, I think it's called, the Harry Potter one, that one has great reviews. So it's just interesting because also Rocksteady was such an amazing developer that them wanting to make this Suicide Squad game made the main developers of Rocksteady leave. So this is just an example of just bad decisions all around. Bad decisions. It's crazy. Yeah, Midnight Hatter talking about Hogwarts Legacy having fun combat. Yeah, I've mentioned that before, and I got to find a reason and excuse to play that because, I'm always interested in, like, seeing systems, even if I don't play through the game entirely. It's interesting. I think I don't care for Harry Potter because I don't know what it is. I think I was in high school when the books came out, but then I remember, I had to have been 18 or so. I don't know. I don't remember exactly because it was right around the time I was working at a movie theater still, and that movie, along with the prequels, the Harry Potter movies, tons of people would show up for that. And then I remember I went to see one of them in the movie theater, and I was so bored. But they could be good, and the books could be better. I don't know. I don't read, except video game articles. I do read that. Okay. I blame book reports for turning me off to Harry Potter. That's funny. I could see that because it's like you want to enjoy something, but then you have to go through that thing that you don't enjoy. All right, Microsoft double down. Oh, Microsoft to double down on Game Pass at Xbox Showcase with Call of Duty title. So these are a bunch of rumors that have been coming up. Xbox Game Pass will take center stage at its annual video. Okay, how much are they just saying words? Putting title on Game Pass would mark a major bet by Microsoft. Yeah, this is what we're hoping for. Okay, so I was thinking maybe this would have more news, but it looks like it's just another article saying the rumor, which is fine because the more, I mean, this is routers. I think that gives it more credence. Like it's gonna happen. They're gonna say Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is on Game Pass. What would be really cool, and I don't know if this is competition or not actually, if they released all the other Call of Duty titles on Game Pass. Because if Microsoft wants people to get Game Pass, if they're not going to get it through Black Ops 6, maybe they will through the other Call of Duty games. I think they should announce that. They should announce, and starting today, every Call of Duty title is on Game Pass. That'd be pretty neat. That would mean me and my youngest can play Modern Warfare 3 because, you know, it's a $70 game. I bought it, and, you know, he has his allowance, and we buy him enough games. I can't just get him every game, right? Yeah, I'm hoping that's what they do because, and I don't know if we'll get to it, but also this game Towerborn, it's a beat 'em up, a side-scrolling beat 'em up. That could be a drop that day during the Xbox showcase, and I hope that happens too. Okay, what was this one? Why the video game industry is such a mess. Oh yeah, I was reading this, and I don't like it. Layoffs will continue until everything is Fortnite. No. Like, now I'm gonna be honest. I didn't listen to this. I read this, and it doesn't really detail it, but it's not a video game industry thing. It just is not. So, like, it's not going to be until everything is Fortnite. It's going to be when budgets are, you know, it makes sense. And I say that because we see all these indie games with smaller developers, smaller budgets make amazing games. So it can happen with the... So when they say why the video game industry is in such a mess, they're saying, why are the big AAA over-budgeted publishers in a mess? And it's like, well, I just answered that question. Over budget. I mean, that's what it is. If you look at the smaller companies, they're releasing badass stuff. I just talked about Volgarr the Viking, which we'll get to, I think, hopefully. Yeah, here soon. In fact, let's go to it right now. Volgarr. So this is Crazy Viking Studios. So when this was announced, like 2012, 2011, 2010, I forget when it was. And I forget if it was even a Kickstarter, maybe not. I just remember when they announced this game, I think it was a Kickstarter. It's just a badass side-scrolling 2D action game that has like the classic, you know, the classic 2D type of fighting that you would expect. And so, yeah, I remember before it came out, yeah, that's right, I did the Kickstarter because I even helped just a little bit because I had a specific AMD chipset that I was testing with, and, you know, I ran into some bugs, so I was able to let them know. It was just two guys. And yeah, the game turned out awesome, but so hard I never actually beat it, which this is making me think I need to go back and actually beat it. But then what's cool is, and let me actually search that here because I don't know if we'll see it. So it was announced yesterday. Oh, and it has a Steam page. Volgarr 2, August 6th. So I can't wait because it's the, you know, the same guy. Now, in terms of the same guy, I know it's the guy that does the art and maybe the design. I don't know about the development or the programming. Engineering. An engineer. Steven taught me that yesterday. I would be an engineer. And Digital Eclipse's publishing, which is cool because they tend to publish, you know, smaller titles or titles that wouldn't get a lot of visibility. So let's see. Autonomous big companies need to learn from the glorious sea of indie games coming out. Exactly. Just like Hollywood now is because of the low-budget Jurassic Park, the low-budget Fast and Furious. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a video game thing. It's executives want money thing. Minnow Hatter, just two guys remind me of Rick and Morty, two brothers. Uh, it's just called Two Brothers. Oh, yeah. You know what? That I miss Rick and Morty. Okay, let's see. What was that other one? Oh, okay, Sulaco. So this is a game that I played the demo like 2 years ago, and it's a typical. Maybe typical is the wrong word. It looks like a typical boomer shooter. But when you play it, it is just so good. It's probably the best first-person shooter I have played in years. Maybe since Doom 2016. Not Doom Eternal, that was a little weird. But Doom 2016, and then this is just awesome. So what happened was, it was like just a 3-stage demo. I remember like a couple years ago. I'm like, do I have to wait for this? And I remember I would go and check back like every couple months. And finally, it's actually out now. It's not the full game still, but they did say it's 30 missions instead of 3. So for $22, I might be down for that. But I brought up again, which maybe I need to have a therapy session with Steven. He's really good at this. Like, I'm not crazy about early access games, because I'll play them, and like I've said, like I will then not like it that much, because then later they do make it better, or I play it and I like it and then they change it up. Like for me, Dead Cells really changed to a point where I was like, I'm not as into it. And I've seen that happen before. And so sometimes I'm like, do I get the early access? Do I not? But this game just looks and feels so good. And if there's 30 missions, I'm down. Like, look at that. He just picked up and used the barrel and shot it, blew up everyone, and it looks great. Ultronos, that's a hell of a lot for an early access game. Yeah, I wonder, because even the Starship Troopers Extermination, I think, was 25. Like, I think that's what they're doing. They release what a full game would be at like 25, and then they release it for 40 or 50 when it actually comes out. And that's a trend. And again, that's where I don't know sometimes. Should I be buying the early access game? Oh, yeah, that's a good example. There was an early access game I bought recently and returned it. And no one's been talking about it anymore. When it sold a whole lot. It was that first-person shooter I was saying, where it was like an open zone, or open world, where you can have groups and do PvE and PvP. And I bought it, and it was not running well. I refunded it. So yeah, that's another example. Well, yeah, so 30 does seem like that's a lot for early access, but at the same time, this game's been in development for 2 years, and so it's like by this time I was actually hoping for it to be a complete game. I just, again, I'm scared about these early access games. Release date 2255. I can't wait that long. No, I'm joking. Actually, I think the release they said is 2026, which is like a long time. Still, I guess that's what it is. When it comes to an early access game, yeah, 2026. Like, there's so many things. Like, what's the cost? How much content? When is the final version coming out? A lot of times, if a game seems to be near full price and it looks like it's nearly done, and they're just like, hey, this early access is just so for the next year we can tighten it up. But 2 years? Actually, that reminds me. Let me check something. Okay, Starship Troopers Extermination, $30. This one is still in early access, but I want to say that because they said approximately 1 year. Wasn't it last year that I bought this? And like I said, I played this and it was actually fun. I played it a lot, but it was like, yeah, I could tell it needs some polish. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that Star Citizen thing. I think it's almost like that started this whole thing, right? Like, that guy had so much confidence to make a perpetually in development game that a bunch of other people jumped on it. Sometimes it works, like Baldur's Gate worked. And that's the thing. I think it's just like when a publisher is trying to make a game because it worked somewhere else. It's like, just because something worked, there's so many factors that need to come into play for something to actually work. But anyway, let's get some video game news. Sonic X Shadow Generations releases this October, it's claimed. So it's not official. So basically, there's Sonic Generations, which was a well-done Sonic game. It had a mix of the side-scrolling and 3D, and it was the idea of Sonic going through the generations of its games. The 3DS version was actually really good because it was like the side-scroller equivalent of that. Anyway, I think it's crazy that they're re-releasing this game. But at the same time, it makes sense because this is probably one of the best Sonic games and it's been a while, like nearly 10 years since this game came out. And it was probably one of the better modern ones. And anyway, this update's going to include Shadow because everyone loves Shadow. I missed that boat. I think even though I was into Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, at that time, I think them introducing Shadow, I was like, who's this goofy dude? And never really got into it. But anyway, now, I would, let's see, interesting. The developers have reportedly already started preparing the games page for Nintendo eShop and Epic Games Store. Just because we didn't see Steam doesn't mean it's not going to be on Steam. And then I wonder if people that already own it will get an update. Now, I almost seem like this would have to be a whole new release. Anyway, I just hope it does better than, you know what, so there's this thing where YouTube has a heart right by the text, and I can never read what people are saying. Like, is that even a good idea? But what, okay, I'm going to type. Okay, there we go. Oh, color remastered. Yeah. I thought, like Sonic Colors was fun, but the remaster was like pointless. It should have just been a re-release. Steven said, "Yeah, I hate the heart on YouTube." Yeah, because you would see it too because of your live streams. Trying to make a chat. Yeah, I don't know why no one's said anything about that yet. I feel that's weird. Okay, so let's scroll down some more here real quick. Civilization 7, very cool. Not into that series, but very cool. Half of Hellblade 2 players on Xbox have made it past the first boss. 87% haven't beaten the game yet. I think that is actually in line with most things. Like, for instance, actually, do I still have it up? Let me go to Exophase real quick and show you guys something I found. Okay, yeah, I have to widen this a little bit. So on the side here, it shows my rarest achievements. And one is complete a level on any difficulty for Zombie Army 4 Dead War. It's a specific level, and only 1.38% of players have beaten it. And that's crazy. Like, I feel like that's very common. Like, you're going to get more people that will just purchase a game and not play it than actually play through it. So when I see that, it's like, okay, is that necessarily a bad thing? That, I don't know, because it's funny. I keep hearing more positive stuff at the end of the day about this game, but it's been quiet. Maybe Xbox will talk about it a little bit because my curiosity is like, has this moved the needle at all for Xbox? I don't know. And even as a big time gamer myself, I haven't played past the first time I played it during the beginning. All right, how to watch the Summer Game Fest 2024 live stream. So let's look at this because I really wanted to. Okay, kicking off. Let's see. And that's right. Didn't we see that would be 4 Central my time? Okay, that was weird. Let's see. But I'm really more interested in the Xbox One. I think that's Sunday. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll live stream this, but I'll probably post my thoughts maybe. I don't know. We'll see. You know what? I usually do things depending on how busy my work day was. I'll stop work and sometimes be too tired to play games. Sometimes I'll stop work and be like, that was a good work day. I'm going to play some games. But, yeah, so we'll see about that. Okay, yeah, Game Boy, Mega Man. Microsoft reportedly considering bringing a new Halo Combat Evolved remaster to PS5. I think that would be awesome. So after the recent Halo stuff, I feel like Halo's not that cool anymore. So if they were to push it on PS5, let's say Halo sees this resurgence, and then Microsoft sees, okay, let's make this next one. Let's do a really good job with it. I think it needs that because I was a huge Halo fan. Halo would be so cool to me, like I'm liking Gundam right now. And it's just I don't hate things or like things because of someone else. Like that's why, like I got into Gundam, and everyone in my life thought I was weird, right? But I like it. And so it's like with Halo. Like I would totally get back into it if I bought all those action figures from Halo Infinite. And, and then they delayed the game, and then the game came out, and it was okay. Let's see. Oh, from Autonomous, Halo was my favorite sci-fi franchise for quite a period. Now, not so much. Yeah, so I'm glad that you kind of see where I'm coming from. Because yeah, it was for me too. I mean, I loved everything Halo. I had a Master Chief shirt, Master Chief hat, or Halo hat. It was like UNSC or whatever. The action figures. I'd always play the games. Some of my fondest memories are of the midnight launches, waiting in line, meeting people. During the I Love Bees campaign, I was one of those that answered the phone, and I forgot what I had to say. Like it was where you had to go to a public phone, and I went there at a mall, random mall, and I was there with some other people, and the phone's ringing, and I'm like, okay, I have to say this, but this other person was like, no, I think it's this, and I was like, really? And I was like, you're probably right. So I answered the phone, said what they said, and then it like helped. It was that AR game, the alternate reality, ARG. Yeah, that was fun. Whoa, you have a Halo Reach tattoo? That's amazing. I think Halo and Mass Effect suffer the same fate. Yeah, you keep bringing up Mass Effect. I need a reason to play that. Maybe, I've been wanting to do something on this channel where I play a game that I haven't played, that I wouldn't normally play. That would be it. Oh, Red versus Blue. Those are great times. Again, that was around the time where, like, I got my first apartment right after high school with my friends. We'd watch Red vs. Blue, play Halo all day. One bad game is all it takes to really break the fandom. And I even thought the Halo 5 campaign was horrible. It's just the multiplayer was fun. And I think that was the start. Oh, yeah, and I think Halo 4 kind of started with those warning signs. I would agree. Because they changed things up. It was to be interesting, with the loadouts and all that. But I thought it was okay. But yeah, you're right. Warning signs did start there. Let's see. All right, yeah, can't wait for Shadow of Erdtree. Can't wait. Jobs Roundup. Okay. Angry Birds 3 movie. Yeah, makes sense. Acolyte showrunner wants a KOTOR 2 adaptation focused on Kreia. So I have not played those KOTOR games, even though I know they're super popular, just not my type of game. The Acolyte seems, and I will say, like, I watched the first 2 episodes, and it has neat stuff. It's weird that it seems cool, but then it also seems empty. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know people want KOTOR. It's just these things need to be done in a different way, and I don't know how to explain it. I think this is what it is, and I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking when it comes to video games, the Acolyte is made to be enjoyed by the widest people possible while being a murder mystery. So that's where it's like sometimes tones are a little weird and dialogue's a little weird, but it's like, yeah, they're trying. And so it seems very like subdued in terms of excitement. But I think it's because they're trying to keep it grounded in terms of a mainstream audience getting a Star Wars murder mystery. Like, I almost feel like that is an achievement in itself, but I don't think that's the right direction to go with something. And I was just thinking the other day, like, if I really wanted to tell a Star Wars story, I think it would be really cool to just have it where it's some random planet where the people that live on this planet use mechs for construction and stuff. And then the Empire comes by to take over the planet. This is like maybe during Empire Strikes Back time period. They just land like, who's, control here is like, we're the Empire, we're going to be taking over. And then right there's this fight. And it could be something where it says like a year later, then all of a sudden it's that planet we're introduced to, but it's completely taken over by the Empire. And then the people with their mechs try to fight back. Sounds like I just explained the Exo Squad plot, actually. So maybe I'll just move on. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop will be revealed in full on June 13th. I want to play this. This was like that James Gunn written game, and I played it actually on 360. I just don't remember it. That could be a bad sign. Let's see. Astrobot editions and pre-order bonuses revealed. Okay, this is when I start feeling sick to my stomach. It's like, I love game announcements, but then they're like, well, there's these 8 editions. You can get your basic, and then, or you can pay 120. I don't know. Let me fix this a little bit. Okay, so we got a physical standard edition, which I'm not going to do physical anymore. Digital standard and digital deluxe. Interesting. For those investing in the digital deluxe edition, there are 3 outfits to secure. Yarnum, Tourist. Okay, they already got me there. That's from Bloodborne. Golden and Lovestruck Lyricist. The edition also includes 3 speeder skins, the game's official soundtrack, and digital art gallery, plus 12 PSN avatars. None of that stuff I gotta say I care about at all. It's just the Yarnum Tourist sounds neat, but I'm just more interested in playing this game than being bogged down by the DLC. Like, I am so excited about this game, really. Like, to me, this is like Mario Wonder levels of excitement. But you know what? Gasoline options. Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't think about that, Jim Killex. It's like gasoline options. But you know what? Something about Mario Wonder. I had a lot of fun with that game, but then I just forgot about it. Didn't really think about it too much. Like, and I wonder how much it's that I've played so many side-scrolling games. But like a finely made, a finely tuned Mario side-scroller is something I know and I've done. I wonder if that's why I wasn't that interested. But when it comes to 3D, like if they had a new Super Mario 3D World, I feel like there's more in me that wants to take in a 3D platforming environment. Like, that was bigger with the N64 era and around there. A lot of 3D platformers. And it slowed down with just Nintendo doing it. And then the little indie ones here and there, Ukulele. There's that one with the fox. You know, not too many. So I hope this kind of revitalizes the notion that a publisher can come out with a really fun 3D platformer that can do well. I hope that comes back, actually. Let's see here. Some sales comparison charts, and let's. Well, yeah, that's about it with the news. So, cool stuff. I didn't go through all the stuff from that indie showcase yesterday, but that Volgarr thing, can't wait. I would say if you have a chance to play Volgarr, give it a shot. It's really hard, but it's really fun. The Sulaco FPS, definitely want to play that. That looks like a lot of fun. I need to. I think it's just going to be Call of Duty, because I'm thinking, what am I going to play this weekend? But I think it's really just going to be the Call of Duty. I want to check out the Gundam stuff. You know what? And I haven't even played V Rising since I got back from out of town, so I need to get into that too. So, anyway, I think I am going to end this. This was a lot of fun, guys. This is Friday, so for those of you that this is your last work day for the week, it's good that we got the weekend. For those that still have to work, hopefully you have a good weekend. And then I guess we will talk later. See you guys.